Hey guys, welcome to DevOps School. In this video tutorial, we are going to teach you about Jenkins, which is a very popular continuous integration tool. After going through this tutorial, I promise you that the concept and understanding of the Jenkins will be absolutely clear to you. But before we begin, let me inform you few things about us. DevOps School is one of the leading platforms which offers DevOps, cloud and containers technology training and certification programs for freshers and established professionals who wish to update and consolidate their skills in the dynamic IT scenario. We ensure that the training solutions are delivered by highly experienced domain experts with practical working experience in various verticals. You can join our all training programs globally through online platforms, and if you're looking for classroom workshop, then we have regular batches available in Hyderabad and Bangalore. Check out the dates and enroll with us for our upcoming batches. For more info, link and contact details are mentioned in the description below.
Yeah, you can see. Great. Okay, so today's topic is Jenkins. So the notes are available on my GitHub repository. So this is DevOps. And here you can go to the Jenkins. And let us let's download this. So today we will talk about the Jenkins, what is Jenkins, how it is used, and what is the purpose of Jenkins. So all these things we are going to discuss today. Okay, so when we talk about the different tools of DevOps, say an example Git, Docker, or other tools. So these tools you learn individually. You are learning Git individually, where you see that how the version of a code is maintained. You use Docker to create the containerization. You use say an example configuration tool called Ansible for configuration management. You use Maven for build automation. Okay, so these all tools separately we learn. But there is a stage comes when you need to club them together. Club them together in a sequence manner. In a sequence manner in the sense, say an example, there is a developer. And so if I say notepad, so there is a developer, and developer is writing the code, and that code goes into GitHub, right? Means internally he is storing it on his local disk, but ultimately it will go to the GitHub repository. It could be private, it could be public. After that, once it is into the GitHub repository, it should be automatically built. Should be automatically built. So for that we use the Maven. And it should be once it is built, then it should be automatically tested. Once it is automatically tested, then test result go back to the developer by saying that there are some failures, and these failures is to be these bugs should be fixed. So again, developer fix that code and move it into the GitHub. Again, it is automatically built. Again, it is automatically tested. And if everything is fine, then it should move to the one of the container is Docker. Your code is to be built, and after building it should go into some server, right? So we use the Docker, and once it is moved to staging, that other things are different, which is your orchestration tools, which is Docker Swarm or Kubernetes. Then it is to be, once it is moved to the production, our most of the work is done. Next thing you want to do a monitoring, which we use with the Nagios. So this everything I want automatically. DevOps means everything is automatic. So if developer just write the code and automatically build, automatically tested, automatically move to staging or production, this is what I want to achieve. So my life cycle should be automatic. The the implementation should be, the frequency of implementation is more, should have less bugs. Okay, so for that purpose we use a pipeline. So this, if you make it into a automatic way, that is called the pipeline. And there are two things in the pipeline. One is the CI, which we call the continuous integration, and other is continuous delivery, CD. And continuous deployment. Basically, in the continuous integration, it is up till here. When developer is writing the code, move it into the GitHub, automatically build, move to testing, and from testing they are sending a result back to the developer. Okay, if there is a bug. So this is called continuous integration. When your code is successfully tested, then it moved to some machine, which is your Docker machine or container. If this machine is staging or UAT or test servers, then it is called continuous delivery. But move to production needs some manual approval. So say an example, everything is tested and it is successfully tested. Now there is a ADM or there is your manager who approves that this code should go into the production. So once he says yes, then that particular application move to the production. So whenever there is a manual intervention is required to move the code into the production, that is called continuous delivery. And sorry, if your code is automatically moved to production, if your code is automatically moved to production without any manual intervention, then it is called continuous deployment. Okay, and to achieve all these things, we use a tool which is called Jenkins. Jenkins, TeamCity. So these are different tools which is used for the CI/CD pipeline. And whenever you see any DevOps job description, you can see there is explicitly they write, do you know CI/CD pipeline or not? So this is basically, today we are going to learn Jenkins, which will help us to create the CI/CD pipeline. Anyone has any question? What is CI/CD pipeline and what we are going to discuss today? Okay, so I think everything is fine. Okay, so now let us talk about the Jenkins. So this is the basically you can say image or logo of Jenkins, and this PPT you can find it on my uh, GitHub. So what is Jenkins? It's a leading open source automation server. Jenkins provides the hundreds of plugins to support building, deploying, and automating any project. So, say an example. If you see, this is the continuous integration. So these are the developers, and these developers write the code onto their system or into your local Git repository, and that code goes into some version control system. That could be GitHub or that could be some version control system. Because we discussed about the GitHub, so that is why I am taking the example of the GitHub. The code goes into the GitHub, and once code goes into the GitHub, then there is a use of Jenkins which automatically builds the code and automatically tests the code, and after testing, if the feedback goes back to the developer, okay, with some notification email, or if you have something which is the ticket generation kind of thing, so that notification will go back to the developers. Okay, so now let us see what is continuous integration. So continuous integration is a development practice that requires developer to integrate the code uh, to a shared repository several times a day. So what is continuous integration? The developers to integrate the code into the shared repository, which is your GitHub, several times in a day. So you are just posting or pushing your code to the central repository. Each check-in is then verified by the automatic build. So again, it will be verified with the automatic build, and then allowing team to detect the problem early. Okay, so that is the main purpose of the continuous integration. By integrating regularly, you can detect the errors quickly and locate them more easily. Okay, so if you integrate everything, means your code is automatically built, automatically test whenever you move the code into the GitHub, then it is kind of a, you detect the error early and you can implement the things as fast as possible. So that is continuous integration. Now, why continuous integration is required? So let us take the scenario that there is a continuous integration, and if there is no continuous integration, then what the developer need to do? Developer is going to move the project to some version control. Then tester will take that from that server. It is to be built first, then give it to the tester. Tester will test it. It will take time to test the application. Developer has to wait, and tester again test it, and it found some bugs, and that bugs gives back to the developer. Now tester job is done. So developer has to fix that bug, again move to the control, subversion control, and then from that version control, it is to be again tested by the tester. So it's a manual process, right? So I want to make it automatic. So if a developer do not commit the changes on the regular basis, then the code changes are to be integrated and tested manually. If the developer commits the changes on regular basis like daily or weekly, and build scripts compiles the code and runs test script automatically, then on regular basis the integration happens, but still it is not completely continuous integration because the changes get compiled on regular basis, not immediately. In case of build failure, the notification sent back to the developer. So basically what is happening here, the if you say that every evening 5 p.m. my continuous integration will happen. Continuous integration means every uh, day at 5 p.m. the code will be pulled from the Git, and it is to be built and it is to be tested, and the feedback goes back to the developer every day at 5 p.m. That is also, you can say, somehow it is continuous integration, but it is not exactly continuous integration. The reason is because it is not immediately. So if the developer immediately put the code and immediately it is to be built, immediately it is to be tested, that is called continuous integration. But here you are giving a frequency, you are saying at 5 p.m. Okay, developer is writing the code into GitHub, it is not getting built automatically. So there is still some time is required. So this is not completely continuous integration. So that is why we need a CI process, means whenever developers commits the code into the source control, it should be immediately built, and in case of failure, it sends the notification to the developer. So that is why we need a CI. Is it clear what is CI? So what is the advantages of the CI? So you say goodbye to long and tense integration. Okay, so you need not to wait by saying that I need to wait till the tester tests the application, developer again fix the. So this is very fast. So goodbye to long and tense integration. Increase the visibility, enabling greater communication, because everything is automatic, everything is scripted. So the visibility of your project or different component is very high. Catch the issue early, right? We have already discussed. Spend less time on debugging and more time on adding more features, right? So you are immediately getting the error. So if you are immediately getting the error, so it means you basically spend more time on adding more, means you get the error, you fix it because you are getting error early. Now next task is that after fixing the error, you can work on the new features, you can add it into your application. So these are the main advantages of the CI. Now next is the continuous delivery. So what is continuous delivery? Here, up till here it was continuous integration, but now your code is moving to SIT, okay, your staging server or integration testing, UAT, user acceptance testing server, or production server. So some people, they hesitate to directly move to the production. They want to do a integration testing first. Okay, once it is clear, then it should go to the UAT, so client also can see that the output. When he is okay with that, then you want to move it into the production. So that is continuous delivery. But in continuous delivery, as I told you earlier, that it needs a manual intervention to move to the production. In continuous deployment, without any manual intervention, your code is moved to production. Anyone has any question related to what is continuous integration, what is Jenkins, and what is continuous delivery and deployment on the call?
So just to summarize, the difference between the continuous delivery and deployment is just a manual intervention, right? So it's
Right.
one step before the production. There is a manual intervention. Some admin
Right.
kind of approves and deploys it to the production. Is that what the difference is?
That's right. That's right.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, so now when you need to install Jenkins, you need this minimal configuration for your system. You have minimum 256 MB RAM, which is not today's infrastructure point of view. It should be 1 GB. Is actually on our laptop itself 8 GB or 4 GB we have minimum. So 1 GB disk space, but 10 GB is recommended. And you need to install Java 8. Jenkins is developed in Java. Okay. So let us do one thing. Let us install the Jenkins on our system. Okay. Okay. So now what I will do, so we will go to our EC2. So we'll go to our EC2 instances if you want to do it. If you have on your system, that is also fine. Any one of, no issues. It's the same. But if it is on your, you cannot experiment the things, right? So it's better to install it on your EC2 instances. So what we will do, we will go to our EC2 instances, click on instances. So we will install it on the Ubuntu server. So I will click on launch instance and I'm selecting Ubuntu server. Okay, Ubuntu 18. Launch instance and launch instance. Okay, so now next I'm saying number of instances. As of now I'm creating one, but we need two minimum. So we will create the one client and one server component. So Ubuntu server we are selecting, right? So next, add storage. I'm selecting the storage 8 GB. Add tag. So I will give the right. You can use that also if you have already a previous machine. You can use that also if it is Ubuntu. So I'm calling it Jenkins master. Yes. So now here what I'm going to do, I'm just opening all the traffic. Why I need all the traffic? Because there are some port 8080 port for Jenkins we need to open it. So that's why firewall, if you want to open it, you can open the firewall, but I am selecting my all traffic. So I believe in all traffic we have SSH also. So okay, so my Jenkins master is up and running. So I will select it. Okay, I will click on connect and I will copy this. Okay, Jenkins master. So I will go here, paste. Okay, so I'm on my Ubuntu server. So is anyone doing a practical with me? Okay, fine. Okay, so what I have done so far, I have created one EC2 Ubuntu instance and I am connected to that. Okay, so now once you get connected, then first command you need to update the repository. So apt update. Okay, so apt update. So this is the first command and that instruction is on my DevOps notes. So here Jenkins, and you can see the installation steps. Okay, so the first command is apt update. Okay, so those who are practicing with me, they can directly go to my GitHub repository and they can go to Jenkins and installation step. So copy paste that command from there. Now, as I told you that Jenkins is Java based. So Java based means I need to install Java first. Okay. So for this, I need to install Java. So to install Java, we need to use apt install OpenJDK 8. So minimum 8 version we need. So to connect to this, what you need to do, okay, sudo su. No, go to my GitHub repository and copy, because you need to copy the commands from there. Okay, so we have installed Java as well. So now we need to say Java hyphen hyphen version. So Java hyphen version. So you can see Java 1.8 is installed. Okay, so Java 1.8 is installed. So once this Java is installed, then we need to, so first command you need to run apt update. Second command apt install Java open JDK. Okay, so once it is done, the next step is that you need to download a key. Okay, so that key is basically a package key of Jenkins, which you can find it into one URL, and you need to download it from that URL. So copy this and paste it here. it should return OK. So if it returns OK, it means that key is downloaded successfully. If it does not return OK with some reason, so it means that key is, and that key is required because when you install the Jenkins, so it will verify that key is available or not. Okay. Now next is there is a Jenkins package which we need to update into our repository. So again, that is, you need to go to that URL, copy it and paste it here. So it will update your repository with that package. Okay, so after that you will not get any output, it's just a command. Then we need to update the repository one more time because Jenkins package we have added. We'll say apt update. So now my repository is also up to the mark. Next, what I need to do, I need to install Jenkins. So apt install Jenkins. Do you want to install Jenkins? Yes. So it will take some time to install. Same page. Okay, Jenkins is installed. If it is installed, how you can verify it? There is a service basically which is get installed when you install the Jenkins. So you can say systemctl status Jenkins. Systemctl status. So you need to find the status of the Jenkins, the service which is running. Systemctl status Jenkins. When you enter it, if it is in the running stage, then it means it is active, and so it means my Jenkins is installed properly. So it means the installation is done. Is that Q? Press Q. Okay. So now the Jenkins is installed properly. Now I want to, it's a basically two types of two ways you can connect to the Jenkins. The best way is with the graphical user interface, where you need to go to see the in the website. So for that, because this Jenkins is running on my this server, so I need to take the IP address of this. So I will go to my EC2 instance, select my Jenkins and take the public IP, copy it. And go to your browser, paste it there, and colon the port on which it is running, it is 8080. Okay, and press 8080. So this is on different server now. It won't be. Okay, 8080. Which one? Admin password, right? Systemctl, the state. So if the, because we use the all traffic, so that firewall is not required to open. If you open it, that there is no problem. So in case if it is not opening in your case, then what you need to do, you need to select your EC2 instance and go to the security group and check that in your security group that all traffic means in the inbound and you can see down there all traffic is open or not. If all traffic is not opened, then it won't open your website. Fine. So now go to your EC2 instance. Select this. Take the public IP. Now you can click on that icon and paste. Click on that AWS again. So this is your IP address, right? 18. It's there. Okay. So here, okay, open your that AWS again. Just write aws.amazon. It is there. Just click on that. There is an icon there next to this. Yeah, copy this. Now click here on plus symbol, paste, and colon. It's which colon you are using? Not semicolon. The shift and this. No, shift and press this. 8080. Yeah. Right. So now on this screen, what it is saying unlock the Jenkins, and there is initial password which is given at this location. Copy this and go to your command prompt, okay, and say cat and paste that. That is a file name basically. Initial admin password is a file name. So enter it. So it will give you some value. Take that value, copy it, and this is the initial password. And you need to paste it here and click continue. No need to save it. So basically Jenkins is full of what we call, it is full of plugins. So plugins, as an example, you want to run the Git, then you need a Git plugin. If you want to run something else which is related to Maven, related to pipeline, so you need to have that plugin installed in your Jenkins. Okay. So now this screen basically indicates that whether you want to select your own plugins or you want to install the plugin which is default plugins or suggested plugins. So it's better to go with the suggested plugins. So I will click on this. Okay, so now it is installing the plugins, and that plugins are like your folders plugin, your end plugins, Gradle plugins, you can see here Git plugin, pipeline plugin, Git and GitHub is different, SSH plugin. We may not use all of these plugins, but whichever is required, we will use it. Now, the progress bar basically indicates that it is getting installed. And the tick mark indicates that these plugins get installed. Okay, so now this screen basically indicates that because initial password, either you need to use that one all the time, or you want to create a new admin who can administer uh, your Jenkins. So I'm saying, okay, I want to create my own. So I'm creating a user called Raman, and I will create a password, say whatever the password you want to create, full name and email ID, and click on save and continue. And just say if you want to save your username password, it's up to you. I'm not saving. Save and finish. And you need to click start Jenkins. Install it. Okay. So this is your screen of your Jenkins. Okay, where we are going to do the work. Whatever we are creating a pipeline or whatever the jobs which are going to create, this will be on my Jenkins. So this is my dashboard basically, I would say. On the left hand side, you can see one panel which is new item, people, build history, manage Jenkins, right? And on the other hand, you will see the space where you are going to create the jobs. Okay, so this is the left panel, which is a menu, and right panel, whatever the option you are going to select, it will have that particular say an example, if I say jobs, it will show jobs on the right hand panel. Okay, now when we talk about Jenkins, now in Jenkins, most of the work, or I would say almost all the work, is done in the form of jobs. Okay, so what is job? Job is basically the jobs is consisted of the steps which is to be executed. Say an example, you are saying I want to create a directory. So mkdir file name, that is the directory. So that command will be the part of the job. I want to create a directory, I want to go inside that directory. So you say mkdir directory name, then cd directory. I want to create a file, touch file name. So these three commands I am together writing into one step or one job. These three steps into one job. So jobs are very important. But before running the job or running any Jenkins command, you need to configure one more thing, which is the Jenkins user. Whenever you install Jenkins, there is a user get created which is called the Jenkins. And how you can search that user? So you can go to, in the Linux, you say cat/etc/password, passwd, cat/etc/passwd. So this command basically, if I run it, you can see in the end there is Jenkins user. Okay, so there is a Jenkins user, and this Jenkins user is basically the user which is created for our Jenkins purpose, because ultimately you are going to create the or run the commands onto your server. Okay, ultimately you are going to run the commands on your server. So when you run the commands, there should be a user, and that user should have a permissions. Okay, but this user has limited permission, so I want to give the sudo permission so that this user also can perform the task. So for that, what we need to do, there is a file which is called sudos. Okay, so we will go slash ls slash where it is here only. It's not root, I think. 1 second. Sudos. 1 second. That sudos file path. Let me just. It's very common. So Jenkins create a user, and that user is going to, because we need to run the commands, and that commands you can see on the graphical user interface, but ultimately it is getting run on the Linux box. So for that Jenkins user is performing that task. So for that user I need to give the full permission. So for that I need to, there is a file which is called the sudoers files. In that file we need to give the Jenkins full permissions. So Jenkins permission, Jenkins entry in sudoers. Okay, so what we need to do, let us see. Oh, I think that should be in my notes. 1 second. Not here. Jenkins. Jenkins installation steps. Jenkins file. Jenkins PPT. Oh, I missed that. So etc sudoers file. We need to go there. So that is vi etc sudoers. Okay, so this is the file where we need to go, and we need to add the entry Jenkins. Okay, not this one. This is not the correct one. What is this guy saying? Yes, so we need to copy this. Let me see if I can give it on the chat window. Okay, I can type it here. Okay, on the chat window I'm giving. Oh, okay, for you it won't be there. So you need to go to this website. You just write to the Google. On the Google you can say Jenkins entry in the sudoers file. And you will find the first link, run a shell from Jenkins using sudos. Okay, click on this. Yes, so you need to click on this. Did you find? So you need to write Jenkins entry in sudoers file. On the top, first below are the steps. Go to the VIET. Google you are using, right? Google.com. Use Google.com, not Yahoo. Okay, so first you need to go to that VIETC sudoers file and then click on this. Right, and you need to copy this. Jenkins all, copy this. So these are the steps given. Go to VIETC sudoers file. So I'm there. And here, after that, right. Okay, here down you can, after root, just press I, okay, and paste it here. First go to this web file etc sudoers. vi etc vi space slash etc sudoers. Okay, enter. Then press I and move your cursor down here. No, with the down arrow key. Move your cursor. There it is. And now paste that. Shift insert. After root, look at my screen. Okay. You need to use the arrow keys. Come to that place, press I and shift insert. I, come down here and shift it. Have you copied that Jenkins? No, and paste it. No, this Jenkins all password, no password. This one. Full, yes. Copy it and paste it there. Right click, paste. And now escape, colon, WQ, exclamation. Escape, colon, WQ, exclamation. Enter. Escape. Okay. Escape, colon, WQ, exclamation. Yes. So now WQ exclamation. So now my Jenkins user is configured. Okay. So now I can create the jobs related to Jenkins because Jenkins has the full access. Jenkins user has the full access. I will go back to my Jenkins dashboard. So here the things is in the form of the job. So first I will create a new job. So in the new job, you will see lot of options down there. And these options are basically, it depends what plugin you have installed. If you have installed pipeline plugin, then pipeline option will be visible. If you have not installed the plugins, that option will not be visible to you. Next is the freestyle project. Freestyle project means any type of project. It is not dedicated to any kind of specified project. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to create a freestyle project. So first I will give the name. Say I will say first job, and I will select the freestyle project, and I will click on OK. So now your first job is getting created, and here what it is asking description of your projects. You can give any description. This is my first Jenkins job. Okay. We will come to some options related to this, but as of now, I'm saying what I want to do. I don't want to do a source management. I want to directly come to this build step and add build step. Click on this and execute the shell. I want to run a shell command. I want to create a very simple job which will create the directory, and we will go inside that directory, and then we will create create a file inside it. Okay, so execute shell. So what it will do, it will create the one command prompt, right? So shell command, right? So here I'm saying sudo mkdir. So I'm creating a directory where I want to create /home/ ubuntu /test directory. So first let us verify there is no test directory. So if I say ls here, there is no test directory under home ubuntu. So I'm saying sudo mkdir /home/ubuntu/test directory. Okay, then I I want to go to the this directory /home/ubuntu/test directory. I want to go inside it. Then cd command. Then I want to create a file. So sudo touch and I want to create one.txt file. So these three things I want to do. Okay. Sudo mkdir /home ubuntu/test means I want to create a test directory. Second, I want to go inside that test directory. You can directly create that one.txt by touch command giving full path. But I am not doing that. I want to go inside it. And let me save this. Click on save. Okay. So then you will get this screen. This is screen of your Jenkins first job uh, screen. And here you can see a option which is called build now. Click on this. So it is building your job. And on the now once it is built successful or if it is not built successful, all the information you can see under the build history. Under build history you can see #1. It means you have done one time build. Okay, failed. So it means your job is failed. So if it is failed, how to check it out? What is the problem? Click on this icon which is a ball. Click on it. Here it will show the console output. And here it is saying that building a workspace, right? So it means there is a workspace. So what is the meaning of workspace here? It needs some space on your hard disk to run the job. So it reserve this space. And now this command is running make dir. You are getting the error here. So it means syntax error means you have written the wrong command. Sudo mkdir /home. Okay. Oh yeah. So it is related to your Jenkins problem. If you are getting some error like syntax error, it means there is some problem in your Jenkins user. That user is not able to run this command. So you need to go back to your sudoers file one more time. vi/etc/sudoers. Okay, enter. And just verify one more time you have written correctly this. Jenkins equals to all equals to, just verify this. Correct? Yes, so you need to, because of that it was giving the error. So there is an entry which is not correct. etc, right. Remove it, press I and with the backspace you can remove it, and then escape colon WQ to save it. One sec. Why it is 9. Escape colon WQ exclamation. Yes. Okay, so now once it is built successfully, then what you need to do, you just need to verify everything is created or not. So you say ls. Now you can see there is a test directory get created. Test directory created. So run that job again. Yeah. Okay. And now if you say cd test, and if I say ls, you can see 1.txt is created. So my first job is successfully created. Okay, so okay, so that looks fine to me. Okay, in your case it is failing. Why it is getting failed? One second, guys. Actually, one of the student is getting some problem. So Jenkins. Colon on. This is fine. So in the break, I will check it out. Huh? Okay. So meanwhile, you can just watch my. So, so basically, what is happening here? My job is executed successfully. Now, on the Jenkins job side, you can see some of the more interesting thing. One is the configure. So configure basically indicates that what job you have configured. So if I click on configure, it will show you the your configuration which you have done for that job. And you are saying mkdir ubuntu test that code. If you want to change it. And if you want to perform any task, you can perform a task here. And you say apply and save. Okay. So say an example, you want that you want to create 2.txt instead of 1.txt. Then you can modify here and save it. Now build it again. Build, right? So you can build multiple times a job, but it will start throwing the error in this scenario, because make directory again will make the directory. So it will throw the error that directory already exists. Okay. So now there is one more thing. If you click on back to dashboard, here it will show the weather of your the project or the item which you have created. Here it is showing your first job, and you see this W means weather. So it means if it is sun, okay, so it will show that your build is stable, means there is no error in your job. Okay. If it is some sunny or cloudy, right, so it means there are some failure happened, right? So now here the percentage, you can see the percentage is 100% successful. So it means I build it one time and 100% it is successful. Here in the job, you can build the job from here itself. You just click on that drop down and you click on build now, it will build the job. But in our case, it will throw the error because now it is the directory is already created. If you want to delete the project, you can delete it. If you want to configure it, you can configure it. If you want to rename it, you can rename it. Next column indicates what was the last success. So last success was 9 minute 43 seconds ago, and the job which was run, it was job number 1, build number 1. Okay. Last failure, when it was last failed, that column indicates that value. Last duration, how much time it took to run this job, it was 22 seconds. Okay. And if you want to build again, you can click on schedule a build first job. Okay. So you can again build it. Okay. So these are the things which basically shows on your dashboard. Now let us do some real time of thing. Say an example, you have a the developer is writing a code into a GitHub, and that should be picked up by my Jenkins job. What is my task? There will be a code which is in the GitHub. So what we will do, we will go to our Git repository. Okay, go to your GitHub repository and create a new repository. Go to your github.com. Okay, and create a new repository, right? You know how to create the new repository. So click on new repository name, right? Create a repository. So if you want me to do that, so I will create it here. Go to github.com, enter your username, password. Yeah. So click on new, give the repository name. So I'm saying developer or my project, so something which is relevant. My app. Okay, description, public I want to create, and I don't want to initialize readme. Create repository. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to create one. So in real time, if you are a Java developer, .NET developer or PHP developer, you push your code into the GitHub. But I am creating very simple project which is index.html. Okay, so for that I will create a file. I'll call it say notepad. I will create a file and I'll create a website, say h1. This is my GitHub project slash h1. Okay, so I'm creating one simple HTML file where I'm adding a h1 tag. Then you can go to the file, save as, and in the double quotes you just see where you are saving it. In double quotes you can say index.html file. I'm creating one index.html file, and I will, in double quotes you need to write, so otherwise it will save with the .txt extension. Okay, index.html file, save it. I'm saving it on the E drive. It is already existed, I'm just replacing it. Yes, now this file I will move it into my GitHub. So I will go and you see upload the existing files. Click on this and choose the file from, you can drag and drop also. So I'm choosing from the E index.html file. So then you need to commit it. So now my index.html file is available in my app repository. Okay, uploading the files. Come down. Upload the file, choose the file. Okay, and in the end you need to commit it. Now the file is in my repository. What I want this file is to be picked up by my Jenkins commit changes, right? So for that, basically what you need, clone or download this, copy this, and what you need to do, copy this URL, right? Clone or download, copy this URL. Now go to your Jenkins, create a new item. I want to create a new item and I will call it GitHub job. Any name you, and it's a freestyle, and click on OK. Okay. Now this is a GitHub project, right? So here you can write the description. This is my GitHub project. Anything you can write, right? And here you need to select the GitHub project and you need to provide the URL which you have copied, git or clone URL. Paste it. Now you need to come down, source management. So source management, again you need to select Git and you need to paste that URL. Is there any credential required? If it is a private repository, or is there any credential required to go to this Git? No, we don't need any credential because it's a public one. Then so you can see it is under the master branch. So I'm selecting the master branch. Okay, and that's it. Save. Nothing. Okay, save it. Now once you save it, now let us build it. Click on build. Let us see what will happen. Okay, in your case it is filled. Building. Build. Build. Okay, good. So now you can go to your console. So what that sudo's file? Yes. I think you remove something. It is successful now. Okay, great. Now what you can do, you can click on this ball icon. Okay, it says success console output. Now here you can see running the system. So this is basically the log entry what it has done. So here what it is saying, cloning the repository this which we have provided. So it first run the git init command, then git version fetch config, lot of things it has done, and ultimately this is your workspace. So you can copy this and you can go to your command prompt and say cd paste and paste this. Okay, and if you say ls, you can see your index.html file. Now, still it is not automated, but we found a way that how to configure a GitHub job, right, to get the data from GitHub repository to my local system. Anyone has any question on call? Is it clear to everyone? Anjana,
Yes.
Darshan,
Yeah, it's clear. Thank you.
okay, Darshan, okay, Venkat says yes. Pankaj, Dhruvan,
I'm good.
right. Okay, Patrick, Shankar,
Okay, thank you.
okay, right. All right, so it means things are going good. Okay, so now what we have done, we have from GitHub, I took the project and I configure it into my Jenkins, and with the help of the Jenkins, I pull the code from the GitHub, right? Now, so this is the default workspace. Okay, so this is the default workspace which is taken by the Jenkins. Okay, now what I want to do, I want to check. Now this is, we have discussed about the Docker also, how to install Docker. And so if I want to create a job which will install the Docker, what I will do, I will create the job, Freestyle project, and in the steps I will write apt install docker.io. Okay, so that you can do, but I am installing Docker directly here. So I'm saying apt install docker.io. I want to give you one example of Docker -y. So it will basically install the Docker on your Ubuntu machine. apt install docker.io space -y. Yeah, space -y. Okay, so if you want to check Docker is installed or not, Docker -- version. So it is saying Docker 18.09 is installed. Okay. Now I want to, because see, my code will be moved to my GitHub to Docker machine. From my GitHub to the Docker machine. That is what, because Docker is the machine where you are having the it's just like your virtual machines, right, where your code is getting deployed. So what I want to do, I want the index.html file, and that index, so I want to create a Docker machine. On that Docker machine I will create some something which we call a Docker file. With the help of that Docker file, I will install the Ubuntu image. So what about others on the call? Do you know that what is Docker file? You are done with your Docker class, right?
Yes, yeah.
Okay, so Docker file, that concept is clear, right? So Docker file is basically a file where you can write the script from Ubuntu, add this, and command, and you can create the environmental variables. So these all things you can do with the help of that Docker file. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to, so what is the scenario basically? So scenario is something like that. We have a virtual machine which is my Docker machine. Okay, so Docker machine is my web server. Okay, on this web server to I want to install Apache. So Apache will be my web server. Okay, so step one is to install the Apache on Docker. apt install docker.io. apt space install docker.io. apt no space between docker.io. Okay, so first I will install Apache where on my Docker machine. Second, what I want, the file which is in the GitHub index.html, that is to be copied. So file from GitHub is to be copied to my Docker machine. Where? At var/www/html folder. I want my index.html file should be copied here because that is having the latest code. Third, once it is copied, I want to create an image of that Docker image. Yes. First, what we'll do, we will just create one image, Ubuntu image, copy the file, install Apache, and then create the image. Okay. So web server. Right. So Docker image, create the Docker image, then create Docker image, and fourth step will be to run the image on port 80. So we need to do the port forwarding. So this task I want to perform, and with the help of this task, we need to see whether it is automatically happening or not. So according to that, we need to create the steps. So what I will do, I will go to my Jenkins. Okay, I will create a new project. Back to dashboard, new item. Okay, here what I want to do, I want to create a job. You can say MTP something, move to production. Freestyle project, select it and click OK. So what I want to do, because I need to do a connectivity with my GitHub, so I need to copy paste that, not this one, your GitHub repository. Actually, okay. So you need to copy this clone and come here and paste it here. And same way, you need to give the Git version, this, paste it here. Now I need to create a Docker file. I need to create a Docker file, right, where I will write all this code. And to get the Docker file, what you can do, you can go to my repository, DevOps nodes, and in the DevOps nodes, you can see Docker commands. And in Docker commands, you can find Docker. And here I have the code for the Docker file, line number 70 to 75. Just copy this. Okay, go to your command prompt. Okay, and what we will do, we will create a Docker file in GitHub project itself, that GitHub job. Okay, so if you are here, I think you will be there, right? Okay, so now you can say vi capital Docker file, vi Docker file without space. That says yes, D capital Docker file, enter, and press I, and right click and paste. Oh, in my case it is okay. So let me just copy this again and right click paste. Okay, so in this, what I'm doing from Ubuntu means it will download the Ubuntu image, it will update it, install the Apache, and copy all the files into the index.html. Actually, I wrote I capital. It should be small. Index.html, my so by default small I it is expecting. I will modify it. Okay, and it is looking for index.add command, which is basically add the means copy the files from your current folder to this folder of the Docker machine, where HTML, and this command entry point, it is basically running your Apache into the foreground, means it is always running. And if you want to set the environmental variable, you can set it up. I'm saving this. Okay, so I save this file. So what we will do, we'll take 15 minutes break and we will resume to this. Escape, colon, shift colon, W. Okay guys, so we will take 15 minutes break and we will resume after that. Okay, so I'm back. So what we will do, write that. So Docker file get created, vi Docker file. Now what we will do, we need to execute this Docker file with our job. So we'll go to our Jenkins. Okay, so I am here. This is my job, right? So you can go to your job and configure. And here, this is the MTP where my index.html resides, right? And this is the source management code, right? And now if you come here, build, click on execute shell, add the build step. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to add the command. What are the commands? First command is that I want to execute my Docker file, right? And to execute a Docker file, you again will find a code here, docker build, right? So just you need to write this command. Okay, copy. And where you need to write, basically, first you need to go to this directory. First you need to change to that directory. Which directory? that workspace directory. Just copy this from /var GitHub job, because my Docker file is available here. So this will be my first command. First I will go to this, so cd and paste that /var lib Jenkins workspace your GitHub job. Okay, this is my first command. Once I reach there, then I need to copy this docker build. Okay, so this command basically create a new Docker image, which is the new underscore Docker file. Okay, copy this and paste it after this. And you need to write sudo in front of that, because we are running with the sudo docker build. So it will create the image file. Okay, so once it is done, file name your wish. If you want to change, you can change. Docker file it should be in the same directory. So first I am going to that GitHub job directory, then Docker file is available there. So I'm running that Docker file with the dot. So build dot means it will search in the current directory. Okay. So now I'm saying Docker build image name, right? Your image is img or my image, you can say. So what it will do? It will create the image. It will create the image. Then once the image is created, and it will have everything whatever your Docker file is having, right? So it will copy the index.html, right? Next, I want to run it, right? I want to show sudo docker run minus it minus e. I want to use port 80. I'm saying my port 80 is mapped to we have installed httpd here, Apache here on this machine. We have installed, right? We have already, no, what I'm saying, on my host machine, we have already using port 80. So we will use some other port, 82 we will use, 82:80, and then your image name. My image name is my image. So copy this and paste it here. So this will run the container, right? So my container is now running. So these steps I want to follow. First, it will install the image, copy my file, right? And then I want to do this. Is it clear up till here? Okay. Anyone on the call has any question? Okay. So now my image should run, and now I can see that image. So what I will do some modification, because index.html should be in the small letter, right? So I will go to my repository, the one which I have created, and I will, where it is, my project, oh no, my app, it was my app. Okay, so I cannot rename it, but what I will do, I will copy this content and I will create a new file. I call it index.html, and I will paste my content here, and I will commit this. Okay, so now there are two files. One is small index.html. Okay, so I'm fine with that. Now what I want, first my GitHub job is to run, then my second job is my Docker file is to be run. Second job this is. So for that, so first you need to save it. Once it is saved, then go back to your GitHub job. Click on this and click on configure. Here down you can see post build actions. Click on configure. Okay, post build action. So what is post build action? Post build action means once this job is completed or failed or something, then I want to execute another job. So for that I'm just clicking on this and I'm saying build other projects. So what are the other projects? I want to execute MTP. Click on this and remove the space and comma. So I want to execute MTP. It means trigger if the build is stable, trigger even if build is unstable, trigger even build is fails. So it means if the build is stable, means my GitHub job is executed successfully and stable, then execute this MTP job. So step 1 and step 2. Step 1 is my GitHub job. First it will pull the data from the GitHub. Second thing is that it will run the Docker file. Understood? Okay, then I will save it. So if I go back to my dashboard, so you can see I have two jobs, and here in front of MTP we did not run it so far. So it is saying not applicable, not applicable. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to run my GitHub job. So it automatically runs the second job if it is successful. So just click on this and click on build now. Okay, and down here you can see build queue. It is now running MTP job. To idle now, MTP is there, right? Have you post the build action MTP? Have you added? No. Here, click configure and down, come down, down. In the end, no, you did not add post build. Add the projects, build projects. Yes, and write MTP. That you may have done on the MTP project. Okay, so here let us refresh this page. So it is failed in my case also. So let us see what is the okay. So but you have seen GitHub job run, then after that MTP run. So let us see why it is get failed. So I click on this MTP project and we'll click on the this red ball. So here running system MTP. So this is fine. Up till here everything is fine. So it runs. Where it get failed. Execution was failed. Or run command get failed. Up till here it was fine. Docker run. Oh, minus D I forget to add. Right. Minus D I need to add, right? Docker run Okay. Build your GitHub job. Build. Click on build. Oh, it's running. See, MTP is running in the queue. Okay. Or you did not use cd command. cd is there, and that Docker file is available there. Just check it out. It is not able to find that. Now just refresh this. Refresh this page. Yeah, reload. Now MTP is failed. Okay, so basically what happened? Docker file. Sending build to this context daemon. No build stage. Okay, so let us see, investigate it here. Use just write Docker images. So you can see my images get created. So some step is basically happened. Okay, so our one step get executed. Docker images. So here you can see my image. Do you see? You you don't see that image because it did not run for you. Oh, that first job executed for you, the one which you changed the Ubuntu U, capital U to small u. Yeah, so there is something wrong. That's why for you it is failed. Your Jenkins user is not able to run that job. Looks like. Okay, but in my case, you can see there is my image. Right, with Docker file. Right, with the Docker file, that image get created, and you can see in the in the Docker file we have in our MTP job. So if you see the log, it get failed for me when I run this command because I forget to add -d. Right, so if I run this command here, if I copy this, right, and if I paste it here, and if I use -d, it should run. Right, so now you can see Docker ps. So 82 port. So if I go to my EC2 instance, and if I take my public IP and if I paste it here, colon 82, it should have my GitHub project. Okay, so let me show you one more time. Okay, what you need to do. Step 1, you need to create one MTP job. So how to create that MTP job? You are just going to your new item, right? You have already MTP job, right? So you can go to the configure. Okay, in the configure, you need to write under the build execute shell. You need to write this command cd/var/lib Jenkins workspace GitHub job. Right, so that is, you can copy paste it from there. You can copy paste from here, copy it, right click, copy, and paste it there, cd job. Right, then you need to create a Docker file here in this folder because we are, so I have created that Docker file. So here, that copy paste from my GitHub, right? So this you have done. Now after that, once it is done, then you need to write this command sudo build dot minus t my image, right? This command you have written correctly. Okay, then docker run it minus p 82 and this minus d, right? So in my case, so save it. Now what you can do, you can, if your mtp job get failed, then just run your mtp job. So build it, click on build now. So we will see where is the error. Save it and click on build now. Yes, dt, demons. Okay, build it, click on build now. So to see what is the error, click on this red ball and see what is the error. So this percentage, is it showing here something? Hmm? Docker file back. Okay, so you have installed Docker on your machine, right? That is already there. And docker build minus t, sending build context to the Docker daemon. Why it minus t to my image. So it means something wrong in your Docker file. Just verify your Docker file and compare with my Docker file. Hmm? Huh. Do it again. Maybe saving is a problem. Okay. So vi Docker file. Okay, that you can do. So okay, so in this example, basically what I have shown that how to build the image by using Docker and how to create attached to uh, there is one job 1, job 2, how to execute job 2 after job 1 if job 1 is failed or job 1 is stable. All right. Now, similar way you can create n number of jobs. Okay, similar way you can create n number of jobs. Now, what I want to create a client server. I want to create a client server uh, kind of a architecture. So mostly, so far what is happening? Everything is get executed on my Jenkins master, but I want to create one Jenkins slave, and on that slave machine I want to execute my code. So, say an example, if everything is running on the master server, then there will be a situation that master is heavily loaded. So it's better to create a Jenkins uh, Jenkins slaves and give that job to the Jenkins slaves. So how to do that? So for that I will go back to my virtual machine. So what I am going to do, I am going to create one more instance, launch instance. Okay, go to your EC2 and create one Ubuntu EC2 instance. Okay, and Ubuntu, add storage, give the add tag, security grip, you need to add all the traffic. Okay, launch. So now I'm creating one slave machine or the client machine. So I will call Jenkins, we'll say client. So why I'm creating? Because the job should be executed on the client machine now. Create Ubuntu machine with security group, add everything, means add your all traffic. Okay, now it is in the running state. So I will say just take this SSH connection, copy it, go to my downloads folder, right click, git bash here, paste. Yes. So now this is my other machine, and what I will do, I will first command apt update. Apt. So what I need to do, sudo su, then apt update. Sudo su, enter, then apt update. So here also I need to install Java. So that is also one thing on the client machine. So to install Java, again on my GitHub, right? We have that in my notes. You can see in DevOps notes. Go to Jenkins and installation steps and copy this command apt install openjdk 8. No, Jenkins we need not to install, only the Java. So I will go to my slave machine and just say paste. So it will install Java. Okay, so I will say Java hyphen version. So you can see Java 1.8 is installed. Now what you need to do, you need to install one more software, which is WinSCP. WinSCP. Why we need it? Because I need to copy some files from my system to Linux box. So WinSCP for Windows or okay. So you need to download it from the official website. You can see here download WinSCP, and down you can see download. Okay, and for this you need a private key, which I think you have created PPK file for. Okay, you also have created PPK file for your AWS key from PEM to PPK. Is there? Okay, great. So you need to have the PPK file. So PEM file, PPK file is not there. So to create a PPK file, first you need to download the putty. Okay, putty.org, and download the putty as well. So these two software you need to install. You can download it. No, the WinSCP. Install it. Okay. So what is the purpose of WinSCP? To move the files from your Windows to your right, right. Okay. No, no, no. We need the putty because I want to create one PPK file. Okay, and I will show you how to create the PPK file. And okay, so WinSCP, when you download it, I think I already have. Not, I will see. Okay, in my case, it is already there. Okay, so what you need to do once the putty is installed, is it installed? Putty in progress. So, okay, so once the putty is installed, then there is one special software get installed, which is putty gen. Okay, you need to select that. Once the putty is installed, putty gen installed. Okay, when SCP is installed, it is asking something. Yeah. Okay, so what you need to do, just putty gen you need to open. Okay, click on putty gen. So what I'm just telling you how to create a private key, because that private key is required for the WinSCP. So here you need to click on load. You're there. Putty gen. Oh, this is Windows 7. Putty gen. This putty gen. Okay, click on generate. Click on generate. Okay, and here you need to give your PEM file path. So it is under my. So here you need to select all files. Go to wherever is your PEM file and select that PEM file. So in my case it is Virginia.pem file. Select it. Do it. Oh, not this generate. Press escape key. It is writing number. You need to load it from here. You need to click on load. Click here. will do faster. Okay, click on load. Okay, yeah, WinSCP. Right, select it and open it. All files you need to select, open. It says OK, click on OK, and then save private key. And if yes, click on yes, and give the name. So give the same name so that not pem.ppk. Okay, no need to write ppk, it automatically take it. So and save. So this will save with the private key. Okay, then just close your. Okay, now our private key is generated. Now what is the use of this private key? Now I will start my WinSCP, which we have installed, and here I want to connect to my server. Which server? My EC2 instance. So the one which we have created client, just copy this. I want to copy some files here. Okay. So what are these files we need to copy? That I will explain you. In the host name, you say your client IP, username is Ubuntu, okay, password is blank, and click on advanced. And here you can see key authentication. Under SSH, you can see authentication. Okay, click on that. In the private key, just select the private key which you want, which you have created, ppk file. So select that ppk file and say open, and click on OK, and click on login. Click OK, click login. It's connecting. Yes, click on yes. So it is something wrong. Okay, enter here. Ubuntu small u. Click on advanced authentication. Okay, so now on the right hand side, it is my Ubuntu server. On left hand side is my Windows. So I can copy paste the files from here to here. Fine. Drag and drop or upload, all these things we can do. Now what I need to do now next, left hand side is your local, right hand side is your Ubuntu server, client machine. Now what I need to go, let's go back to our Ubuntu server again, and Jenkins. Okay, and here you need to go to Jenkins, and you can go to manage Jenkins, and here you can see manage nodes. Okay, Jenkins, manage Jenkins, under that manage nodes. Click on it. Now here you can see there is only one machine so far, which is the master machine. But I want to have the client machine also. So for that you need to click on the new node and give the machine name. So you can give slave machine, okay, and permanent agent. So this will be permanently added, and click on OK. Okay, new node, give the machine name as slave and permanent add, and click on OK. Now here there are a lot of things you need to do. What is the description? So you can see this is my slave machine. It is optional, but better to give. Number of executors means how many executions will happen on this at a time. One execution. Kind of a thread, right? What will be the root directory? So in master, when you are creating, it creates where, live, your GitHub job. So same way it needs some root directory for this. So I'm saying under home Ubuntu slash I want to create a Jenkins directory. Okay, my directory name will be my uh, workspace. That will be, this is the base directory. Label. How do you identify this slave? You give some label. So I give it slave only, or slave one, whatever you want. Now, what will be the launch method for this? So the launch method will be, okay, so this is not showing execution. Okay, so there will be one more option is to be shown here, but that option is not shown here so far. The reason is we need to do one more settings. So before completion of this, I need to go Jenkins, manage Jenkins, and global security. So I need to do some changes. Actually, some option is not visible here, so I need to enable something here. So you need to go to the Jenkins, manage Jenkins and global security. Click on it. Yes, leave this page. Okay, and here you can see there is an option which is called agents, and it is disabled. So I need to enable it first of all and click on random. So what it means? It means that when it connects to the agent machine, agent is nothing but your client. When it is connecting to your agent machine, which port it will use. If you want to give the fixed port, you need to select this. But if you say whatever the port is open, connect to that. So then you are selecting the random port. I'm saying save. Okay. It was disabled, that's why we were not getting that option. Now you come down and click on manage nodes again. Click on new node, give the name slave, permanent agent, click OK. And if you want to give the description, this is my slave machine, number of executor 1, and directory is /home /ubuntu /jenkins. Permanently, yes, Jenkins. Okay, so this directory I want to create. Label, I will give slave only. And now here the launch method, you will see one more option. Launch agent by connecting to the master. Select this and that's it, save it. Launch agent connecting it to the master and save. Now you can see it is showing the cross symbol because I did not mention what is the IP address of my slave, right? So it is showing not applicable, architecture is not applicable, free disk space. So you need to click on this. Yes, not on this. You need to click on your slave. It will show you this. Okay, so it is giving you the method to connect to this. Click on launch. So, no, you need to click on this. Just click on this. And then you will get launch and some file. So just click on launch. Okay, so it will download a file, keep. Okay, same way, click on this agent.jar and it will download some file. 1 second. Getting one call. Okay, so here you need to save this, keep. Okay, so now these two files, just click on this, show into the folder. Take these two files. I'm taking these two files. I need to move it into my server, my client machine. So copy this or cut this. I'm keeping somewhere so that I can easily find it into C drive or D drive somewhere, right? I copied it here. Copy it. Then go to your WinSCP. Click on this button. Open directory. In my case, it is F directories. Okay, I can see these two files, and I will copy it into home Ubuntu only. So I will copy this one by one, upload. So this is getting copied. This file also I need to copy it, upload. Okay, so basically these two files which I downloaded, now I move to the Ubuntu folder. Okay, now after that there is a command given. This command you need to run. Copy this. Okay, so you need to copy this command and go to your slave machine, client machine. Okay, go to your client machine, and this is my master. This is my client machine. On this machine, you need to run this command and enter. So now it is saying connected. Means your master is connected with your slave. Okay, so what you need to do? This command you need to copy and paste it over there. So now your master is connected with your, you need to run it on your client machine, not on the master machine. Okay, so now your master and slave both are connected. Now let me do one thing. Go back to the list. Now you can see everything is fine. You copy it somewhere. Copy it somewhere. That files, copy it into some folder where you can see. Okay, so now basically what is happening, now my client and server architecture is ready. There is no cross. Earlier it was a cross. Right. Now what we can do next, so there is a master slave is connected. Now I want to execute the job on the slave machine. Okay, so for that I will go back to my dashboard. I will create a new job. So new job, I say client job. Freestyle project and click on OK. Okay, so here you need to select your, what I want to do, I want to execute a job on my client machine now. So for that, first you need to click on this restrict where this project can be run. So my project can be run on slave one. What is that? Slave. Remove the space. So it means my project is now going to run on the slave machine. Which project you want to run? I want to run a Git project. Okay, so we'll take that link, right? Any link we can take. So we'll take this one. So any project we can take, right? So I'm taking this one, but I need to go here, and I will. Okay, this is too many files. So I will take. There are so many files. So what we'll do, we'll take our project, the one which we have created. Otherwise, it will download and takes time. So this is my app, and I will copy this, clone. So now I will go to my client job, give this job, and in the Git, I will give the same thing which I was doing earlier. Paste this. That's it. Save it. Now, what will be the benefit of this? If I run this now, it will execute on my slave machine, not on the master machine. So now it is building, and our slave should be connected. So it is in the connected mode. Okay, so now you can see it is built successfully, and if you see the console output, you can see it here that cloning is done, and Git init where home Ubuntu Jenkins, the folder which we have given. Okay, so let us go to our, let me create one more. How to create new? This is okay. Sudo su. Now if I save, it is basically get stored into my ls/home, the folder which I have mentioned in file configuring our slave, Ubuntu/Jenkins. So all the, see, now there is a workspace folder get created. So if I say workspace cd Jenkins/workspace, and here you can see our job name, which is client job. It means it get executed here on this machine, not on the master machine. So if I say ls cd, that is client job, and if I say ls, so see index.html and index.get. So now the job get executed on the slave machine. Is it clear? Okay. Now, so far we have created. Anyone has any question on call? Is it
No,
fine
it's
that
okay.
how to,
Yeah.
yeah, how to create the client server architecture and how to run the job? Okay. So now next is I want to create a CI/CD pipeline. Okay. So what is CI/CD pipeline? I want to see what is happening so far. I'm I'm doing I'm building the job. Uh, it's not running automatically. It is uh, it is executed by me. I'm doing some manual intervention, but I don't want that. I want that everything should be automatic. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let
Raman,
me,
sorry, I have a
yeah,
question.
yeah.
When you can do all on master, why do we still have to create this master slave architecture?
So, see, in the real-time environment, basically what happens if you put lot of load on master, this is not a good idea. So it's better to create some slave machines and play a master role as a lead who is giving the instructions, and his master is deciding that whether it will be running on slave 1, slave 2, or slave 3. So the traffic which is coming up, or the load which is coming up, that is to be equally distributed, and more it's more basically in a structured way, so that unnecessarily the system should not go down, and my jobs, if it is segregated into the multiple slave machine, then load will be less and management will be very easy. All right. So okay, so what I will do now, I will create uh, I will install an Apache on my machine. So this is my master server. Now I am going to execute everything on master. So this is my master. Apache is already installed, I believe. Let me check that. Systemctl status Apache 2. Okay, Apache 2 is not installed. So let me install it. apt install Apache 2. apt install Apache 2 -y. So now the demonstration which I'm going to do is a CI/CD pipeline. So I will create a complete pipeline. Developer is only pushing the code into the development environment, and from development environment to GitHub, and automatically it should be built, automatically it should be moved to production, right? So such kind of thing I want to do now. So for that, we need to create a CI/CD pipeline, which is continuous integration and continuous delivery or deployment. So now Apache is installed, and let me do one thing. Uh, Let me uh, start the service. So systemctl start Apache 2. Apache 2. So the service is in the running mode. So now if I go to my web server, systemctl start Apache 2. So if I go to my master machine, and if I take this IP address, and if I paste it here, it is showing the default HTML file, right? Okay. Okay. So now um, let me create a CI/CD pipeline. And to create the CI/CD pipeline, what I will do, I will go to my Jenkins, back to the project, and here uh, click on Jenkins again. First, what we need to do, we need to install. So you say manage Jenkins and go to manage plugins. So in manage plugins, basically the plugins which is already installed will be shown in the install tab, which is already installed. Which is available but it is not installed, that will show in the available folder. So I need to install a plugin which is called pipeline, or you can say build pipeline. Build, what is build pipeline? Build pipeline. Okay, so build. Let me search Control F. Control F. Pipeline. Okay, no, not Docker. It's a build pipeline. Build pipeline. It will be. Yeah. So this one. One second. Build pipeline. There are two. One second. Build pipeline. Let me just check. Click on next. Okay, this is the only one then. Build pipeline, but they have changed it. Oh, here it is. Okay. So build pipeline. This you need to click. Just search for build. So what you need to do? Oh, not installed, available. Okay, and you say install without restart. So it will be basically installing one build pipeline. Build pipeline. Tick mark that and click on that build, and down there is a button install without restart. So it will take little bit time to install, and now you can say go back to the top page. Build without restart. Okay, so now click on that back to the top page. Okay, now what you can do, here you can see plus symbol on the top. Click on this plus symbol. So first what we will do, we will create some jobs. We will click on that job. In the GitHub job, what I am going to do, so I am downloading that project, and if I go to configure, let's see what I am doing here. And here what I am doing, I am just downloading from my Git. Okay, is there any build step? Okay, there is no build step, so let us create that build step. And I will say run the execute the shell, and here what I will do, that file is get copied from, so my job is here, right? Git job. If I say ls, so my files are here, so I will copy index.html from here to my wars folder. Okay, so here what I am writing, copy, sudo copy the file, this index.html, and I want to copy it to the /var /html/index.html. I want to replace this file, so that in master folder only, but one folder to another folder, to my Apache folder, so that I will get the latest file over there. Okay, so I want to copy this and just say save. So sudo copy this file which is in this folder, because when I download it from the Git, it get downloaded here, and save. And all actually before going to save, so this is my next step, right? So it could be anything. Okay, so let us do one thing. Let's save it first. Okay, and we'll go back to the dashboard. I will create one job, one dummy job. Okay, that could be run after this. So I'm saying dummy job. Freestyle. Okay. So where I am not doing anything. Okay, but in real time scenario, that job is also doing something. And I will say save. And this job, I will go back to the dashboard. Instead of MTP, again I will go to my GitHub job, click on configure. So instead of giving this job as a post build job, I will give the dummy job. So that this job should execute successfully and save it. So what I have done, I have created one GitHub job. There I am getting the code from index.html, right? And that code will copy to the Apache folder. And I have created one more job which I attached as the post build job. Now go back to the dashboard and click on this plus symbol. Okay, so when you click on this plus symbol, give the name of your pipeline. So basically now I'm giving the pipeline. So you will find one option, build pipeline view, and this only comes when you install that plugin. So I'm saying build pipeline. Click OK. Okay, and here what you need to show, you need to basically say that which job is to be executed. What is your initial job? My initial job is my GitHub job. And click OK. Okay, so now my one pipeline is get created where it says there is a two build is already done for the GitHub, and there is only one, there is nothing happened for the dummy job so far. Okay, now I want everything should be automatic, so I need to go to my repository, okay, my app, and I need to click on settings. Okay, I want to, so go to your repository, my app in my case, right, and click on settings. Under settings, you will find one option which is called the webhook. Okay, click on that. And here, what you need to do, you need to create a webhook. Webhook is nothing but automatically, means it will bind your Jenkins to the GitHub. So I'll say click on add webhook. So here you need to give your so here you need to give the URL, and URL is nothing but this IP. So you can basically your URL of your Jenkins, copy this, and you need to write something. 1 second, slash, I think that is 1 second, that code is GitHub webhook URL. So we need to give some syntax. What is the webhook? Payload URL, this payload. So, okay, I believe that is something like this. GitHub hyphen. This is the IP address of master machine. One second. Actually, there is a way to write this. I'm just skipped it. Pay. Right. We have to write one syntax. Okay. So that is example. Oh, come on. Web payload URL webhook GitHub. We need to write something like this. GitHub hyphen webhook. So I'm writing into my this webhook. I think I was writing correctly. Wait to confirm. Okay. So once it is your master machine 8080, right? And then GitHub hook. And then what you need to do, you need to say add webhook. Okay. So this is fine. Add webhook. No. It's not added. Okay, it is added. Tick mark. So green tick mark means it is fine. There is no problem. Now let us see what will happen. Now I am on my GitHub. I am going to my repository, my app, and I am going to change the index.html file. So I will go here, click on edit, and I am changing some here. I am saying project 1. Okay, and I commit the change. So once I do the commit changes, then everything should be automatically generated. So this is my pipeline. So let me refresh this. So far it is not triggered. Okay, so it is not triggered so far. Okay, so let us wait. So my aim is that this web page is to be changed with my new code, but so far it is not happened. Okay, did I? Okay, I have done that changes. This webhook I have added. Okay, project 1 commit changes. Okay, so let us wait. It should not take that much time. Okay, something get wrong. So my CI/CD pipeline. Okay, and here 1 hour ago. Okay, so okay, did I commit the changes? I commit the changes. Then why it is not? So here I will say project 11. Okay, if I say commit changes and commit the changes. So now the code is changed to 11. Let me go to my Jenkins. Let me refresh this page. What is happening? let me just check the configuration. Okay, no, okay, sorry, I forgot. We need to have something here. Webhook configuration, I forget to add. So there is a webhook configuration I need to do. Will the project execute the restrict this? Not this one. 1 second, where it is? Trigger. GitHub. Okay, so this option also I need to select. Okay, and I don't want to execute it on any other machine. It's on this my Git. I did not select the slave machine, right? Okay, save. So that tick mark also you need to done. So now let us make the changes here. So I will make the changes. I will edit it. I will make it again project, and I will commit the change. Now I think it should work. So if I go back and if I refresh this, see, third step is automatically running. Okay, it get failed. Why? What happened? So there is a no such file or directory. Okay, so it did not find this. Cannot find this. Okay, where it is running. Okay, so actually CI/CD pipeline is run, but the job get failed. Okay, so it is saying where it is running. On slave machine it is running. Okay, so it should not be on the slave machine. Which command? Okay, so I will go configure. So I will go to configure. I should not run it on the slave machine. So no, it is not slave. GitHub. No. It's a master because 8080 is master only. Okay, so why it is running on the slave machine? Why? I'm not saying. Okay, so let me check it here itself first, whether it get executed properly or not. Cannot start. No such file or directory. Okay, let me see. If I take this, building remotely on slave. Why? This guy. Okay, so guys, just bear with me. It is running on the slave machine. It should not on the slave machine. Oh, where? Okay, oh, because my slave machine is connected, let me disconnect this. Okay, but I have not mentioned.
Sir, I guess it is because we configured slave node and like use it as much as possible configuring things.
Yes. So, okay, so configure. So this is my GitHub project. Here I'm not mentioning. Restrict to master. Okay, so we'll save master. Save. Now let me build it. Okay, now it is successful. Right, so if I go here, if I refresh this page That's my project. Now what I will do, I will make the changes into my next batch is getting started. So I will edit this and I will edit it by saying project 11. Okay, and I will commit the changes. Oh, sorry. Okay, so this is changed. Now automatically that build should be started and see project 11. So this is automatically happening now. So this is our CI/CD pipeline. Got it? Yeah. Sure. So that's it for the Jenkins, guys. Do you understand that how the CIs, and if you see here now into your Jenkins CI/CD pipeline, you can see this is green, all are green. Is it clear to everyone? So I'm done with the Jenkins. If anyone has any question. Okay, if no, shall I wrap up the call? And the other documentation, you can find it on my GitHub repository. Alright, if there is nothing, then we can wind up the call. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed and learned from this video. Please be kind enough to like it and you can comment any of your doubts and queries. We will reply to them at the earliest. Want to study further? Subscribe to our paid membership to get a deep dive into each and every topic. Do look out for more videos in our playlist and subscribe to our DevOps School channel and hit the bell icon to learn more. Keep learning.